Ready? We're not waiting for Irene. Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Troy City Council. We have a very special presentation this evening. I'd like to invite the mayor to join the city council at this time, please. I just want to get him.
Check 1, 2. Check.
I know I'm sure, but I really am sure now. Great.
Okay, we're trying to get Alana, who's still in the hospital, on FaceTime, so she may be sleeping. Okay. Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome the Harper, the Attapagna family here to the City Council chambers. I'm Mayor Mantello. We're here with the City Council, Tom Casey, Pro Tem, Council President Sue Steele. This is a tough one. This is a tough one, and hopefully we'll be able to get Alana. She is one of the two children who were injured in an explosion on O'Neill Street a few weeks ago. And Alana is still in the hospital. She's recovering, thank goodness. And we're very grateful for that, but hopefully we'll be able to get Alana on FaceTime shortly. Very quickly, our thoughts and prayers remain, especially with the older child, Alana, who suffered serious leg injury. I want to introduce these folks here before we move on. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Derek Harper. I'm Alana's father. I'm going to pass it on.
Hi guys, I'm Alea Harper and I'm Alana's older cousin.
Hi, I'm Janice Gaston. I'm Alana's godmother.
I'm Rhea Pegba, Alana's uncle and Jaden's father.
I'm Lori Harper and I'm Derek's and three of them. I'm the mom and the grandma. So.
Mom and grandma. And how's Jaden doing? Okay. So we're here to thank our first responders, a number of people who saved these two children's lives. That night, it's a stark reminder of how quickly tragedy can strike and how vitally important it is to have first responders who run toward danger rather than running away from danger. The outcome could have been far more devastating if not for swift, decisive, and life-saving actions of our Troy Police, our Troy Fire Department, and neighbors. And where's Jeff Bellschwinder, sorry, Sidewinder. I'm so used to calling him Sidewinder. I never call him Bellschwinder. But Jeff Sidewinder, and you'll be meeting these folks individually shortly. Jeff is a lieutenant in the Schuylerville Fire Department, and he's also a Troy resident. From the Troy Fire Department, we want to recognize Chief Salucci. Where are you, Chief? Thank you. We want to recognize from Troy Police, Deputy Chief Barker, and Assistant Chief Mason. From the Troy Fire Department, if you could raise your hand, Battalion Chief Chris Guerin. Okay, not here. Captains Dave Bulick. Okay. Adam Tuftegard, I see Adam's here. Andrew Dolan. Hi, Andrew. Lieutenants Vincent Sadowski. Sid, how are you? Jeffrey Orvis. Thank you. Firefighters Kirk Radigan. Thank you, Kirk. Patrick Ryan. Matthew Ken. Alexandra Kako. Thank you. Christopher Lane. And Nicholas Steyer. Let's give these Troy firefighters a round of applause, please. From the Troy Police, I want to recognize Detective Justin Ash. Thank you, Justin. For some of you that know Justin, I'm not used to seeing him in a suit. I had to do a double take when I walked in. Officer Taylor Gamache. Thank you, Taylor. Because of all of you, your quick response, your calmness under pressure, and dedication to protecting our residents made a critical difference. Each of you displayed extraordinary bravery, professionalism, and compassion in the face of chaos. You worked together seamlessly, treating the injured, protecting bystanders, and securing the scene. Your actions reflect not just your training and experience, but your deep commitment to our community and the people you serve. On behalf of myself, Tom Casey, Sue Steele, the entire City Council, and Tom wants to say a few words in a minute, and the residents of our great city, I extend our heartfelt gratitude. You embody the very best in the spirit of Troy. We're proud of you. We are thankful for you. We honor the sacrifices you make each and every day to keep our community safe. Please join me in recognizing these outstanding men and women. You'll hear from the family in a couple minutes. I'd like to turn it over to retired firefighter Tom Casey and President Pro Tem.
Good evening. I just want to welcome you to City Hall. Thank you for coming. What was certainly a tragic situation. Ended up a little better than it could have because of the actions here. I know I'm getting old because I look and I see only a few people that I work with. So now I know I'm getting old. And I just want to say thank you to all of you and the policemen and of course my neighbor Jeff. You know, I always say you have elected officials, no matter whatever level, and they change how you live a lot of times. But the people in public safety are sometimes whether people live or die. And that night, your actions save somebody's life. And you get to carry that for the rest of your life, that you made a difference and someone is walking around this earth that wouldn't have been without your actions. And that's something you can really take to heart. Thank you for all your actions. Thank you so much.
Well said, Tom. I'm going to hand over to the Harper and families to say a few words.
Thank you. So I'll start it off. If anybody else wants to speak, after me, please feel free, but I don't have anything prepared, but just kind of speaking from my heart, and this is from Alana's mother as well. Definitely want to thank everybody, here. There was only 2 or 3 faces that stand out to me from that day, on the scene. And I know we've spoken privately, but, as you just mentioned, the actions that day definitely saved my daughter's life. The quickness of, getting her in the ambulance to the hospital where she is now. And yes, she's going through a lot. The last 3 weeks have been a nightmare is the best way that I can put it. She's been through several surgeries and, there's a lot going on. I don't want to get too much into, but, we're here, we're here right now because of that. And I don't want to, forget to mention my nephew, Ray's son, Jaden as well. He's here as well, thanking God definitely every day, thanking, each of you, who are there. I can go on and on, but, I'm very appreciative and, I'm gonna pass it on.
What, this is Jeff. I wanted to say thank you. I'm so blessed that you were there for the kids. I want to also say that our daughter Diane and her husband Ray were outstanding under pressure, and that's what they also do. And Alana saved Jaden, pushed him out of the way. Something told her there's been a lot of miracles at work here, and I hope they continue. The right people were there, and our daughter immediately tried to do a tourniquet, and then Jeff showed up, and it was like teamwork, and that saved her life. And I'm very, very thankful to everyone for that and appreciate this.
So yeah, here just to say thank you for all you guys, everything you did. Really appreciate it. And also, I don't want to forget our neighbors on O'Neill Street. They were fantastic as well, helping us during the incident and also after. So thank you to everybody who showed up that lived in the neighborhood. I appreciate that as well. But yeah, we still have a long road to go. Alana's fighting in the hospital every day. So hopefully, there's a positive ending to the story and, we get some answers soon.
I just want to say thank you to you guys sincerely. I don't really want to cry. And to whoever is watching this, we continue and still need your prayers for Alana, so that way she can be the best that she possibly can be when this is kind of not even over. It's like a new whole life for our whole entire family. And we just appreciate your love that you've been sending to all of us and to all of you guys. Alana is the sweetest, sweetest child. She truly is. So you saved an angel for us that day. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Did anyone want to speak? Justin?
You guys put me on the spot here. No, again, we have a great city we work for and with, and they provided us with proper training and everything necessary needed to do our job every day. And nothing special we did here other than just go to work. That's it. So thank you, fellas. Thank you all, the family. I know we've spoke, so thank you.
And, on that note, we take for granted sometimes what you all do, as my dad, retired, now deceased, but Troy police officer and detective. And, we saw when he came home, but you don't think about what you have to do. You just do it. And we're just here to say thank you tonight. You literally saved 2 lives. And it's because of your actions that Alana has a fight and that Jaden's doing well. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate you every day, 24/7. And we just want you to know we don't take you for granted. So thank you to all of you. Thank you. We have certificates and, look, we have lots of. And two, have a special one for our sidewinder. Thank you, Deb. You also for the Harper and have a bumble. That's it. So I'll get that. We have one for the entire Troy Police. Oh, let's do it. Hold on, folks. Hi, folks. We have Alana. Let's see. Hi, Alana. I'm the mayor. How are you? Okay, it's good to see that you're doing good. We're gonna show you. We just thanked all of the folks who saved your life, you and Jaden's, and we're here in the city council chamber. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, well, you gotta know, a lot of people are praying for you every day, okay? And we're gonna show you who's here. I'll have your dad, okay?
She has her favorite blanket on her.
Lots of people care for you. Alana, we love you and we just want to say you have a speedy recovery and you come visit us, okay? And we love you and we're praying for you and you're going to get through this.
I wanted to say to everybody, thank you.
We love you, Alana. See you later. Love you.
Love you.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you. Can we?
Really quick, if we all just gather for a group picture, we can go right
Okay.
against this wall here.
Will do. We can. We'll move us here. Oh, it was right here.
Yes, please, all together. That's okay.
Let's push. Come on, Irene. Right here.
It's okay. It's okay.
Come on, guys.
It's more over here.
Rich, you gotta lay in front of us. You're really too short. On the count of three, we'll yell Alana. How about that?
Guys. 1 second. Is everyone good to go? Okay. Ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3.
Alana.
Everyone's good? Thank you, everyone.
All right.
You have to. Yes.
Sorry, I'm late. I got held up. It's about a project behind, in my neighborhood. I'm like, I gotta go, I gotta go.
Hey, Adam, you wear a lot of hats. Way to go. Well. Maybe it wasn't.
Where can we buy them?
Anybody else cry? Cause I cried.
Gallons for their back, ears and the little kid.
Conversation time. I initially was here in the parking lot. I'm like, yeah, I'm here, you know, it's like, no traffic period, like, all right, then I got people on.
What's that?
Place tonight. Mhm. And catch Sports Center for the highlights. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Do what you gotta do, right?
I got.
That's right.
On behalf of the city council, I want to thank all of the folks who attended tonight, the neighbors who came to show their support, the families of the first responders. This was a horrific tragedy that could have even been worse. An accident that hopefully we'll all learn from. But in the lives of those first responders, this is what they face day in, day out. And so we are truly grateful for what they did and in this instance and every time they go to work. At this time, I would ask those present to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Councilmember Keel.
Present.
Councilmember Brosnan.
Present.
Councilmember McLaren.
Present.
Councilmember Vera.
Present.
Councilmember Soriento. Councilmember Casey.
Present.
And Council President Steele, also present. This is the Finance Committee of the Troy City Council. And our first item on the agenda is to have a presentation on the second quarter financial report from our Comptroller, Michael McNeff. And looks like there'll be Brendan Kennedy and the mayor joining him as well. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate receiving it in advance. Although late, we understand there were issues. We're grateful for the opportunity to see it before tonight. How would you like to proceed? Would you like to give an overview? And do you want questions as you progress or at the end?
We're at the end.
Okay.
Narrative. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll go through the narrative that I presented to you in the original email. Okay, so through second quarter 2025, the total operating revenues in the general fund. So we're going to be looking at first page, the general fund revenue page. That was presented as well. I believe I numbered them for you. So page 1. So the total operating revenues year to date as of June 30th had an increase of 2.7 million over same period in 24. Just wanted to note that these figures are unaudited and thereby subject to change. So please note that. Real property taxes. The end of the second quarter, we were 61% of the total 25 city tax levy has been collected. The rate's consistent with historical trends that the city's experienced in the last few years.
Michael, hit the major ones, but if you have questions on the other ones, we can go over those too.
We'll hold those for the end, though.
Right, yeah, yep.
No, that's not. So local sources. This is the sales tax received in second quarter. We had total nearly 6 million received, or a 7% increase over the same period last year. The additional local sources, which is pilots, interest and penalty, utility taxes, was up a combined about 800,000. It appears there was a large payment resulted from someone, I believe, trying to stay out of foreclosure to pay off some back taxes, I believe. Excuse I'm pretty much giving you the 10,000-foot view because I'm green behind the ears here on this process. So I tried to drill out what I could here for you. There's also a large reclass in 24 that might have skewed these numbers. So There might be a bit overstated as far as the increase. It might be feathered out as the year progresses. The general government support. The increase in this category is principally driven by the increase in the assessor and treasurer fees. From what I could gather, the assessor fees are now being attached to the actual property tax bill. So it skewed the first half revenue post, I believe, in prior years. I don't know. I didn't recall that.
Well, that, similar to what I've discussed in the past, there's a good degree of confidence transactions are making their way into the general ledger system. Between Andy, myself, and now Michael, ensuring that they're consistently applied to the same buckets is an area of focus. And so making sure that can affect at the financial statement level where they get audited, it's just presentation assertion, but obviously we want to be able to track that at the level of the folks so that you can see there's fluctuation. Thank you, President.
Council President, moving forward, do you mind passing the mic to who's speaking? That way it's on the record and everyone can hear.
Yes, sure.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Brendan. The next line we're going to look at is the public safety. The increase on this, which was about year over year, about 200,000, looks like there was a change in process here as well in the accounting process. It looks like a Bacon Building revenue post. I'd have to dig into it more to get you more detail on that. But that's what looks like the driving force between the year over year. Might be something that would, again, feather out over the course of the year. So it might be skewing our first half numbers.
If I could jump in, one of the things Mike is doing now is getting more in the accounts, the details in terms of, Brendan might have put it in this bucket, but Andy might have put it in a different bucket. So, but, like Mike said, it will, feather out toward the end of the year in terms of the accounting. The numbers are the numbers, but in terms of the accounting, people put them in different buckets. So what Mike plans to do, because to find some of these accounts, you literally have to, takes hours upon hours to figure out where, it was put in, whether it be 23, 24, et cetera. But Mike will be able to break out the accounts more. So, and do it his way. He's working.
We're hoping to,
but the numbers are the numbers.
correct. So that being said, we'll move on to recreation, which includes your golf course, skating rink. There was a 5% increase in the year-to-date numbers. Golf was on par with 24 revenues. Pun definitely intended. The additional revenues generated appeared from the skating rink, so I guess that's was not up and running in 24. Is that the case? So, okay. Next line, the use of money and property. So the interest income declined in large part to the expending of our ARPA funds, which is a large revenue stream or a large bucket to be getting interest income from. Unfortunately, this trend is going to continue as the ARPA funds are expended. So obviously less money to invest because we are able to capture that interest income in the general fund that's earned on any of the ARPA funds. So just something to keep in mind. Again, I don't know what was the, well, we just came in under, but again, that's going to definitely be on the decline. License and permits. Increase here was due in large part to the increase in building permits. I'm making an assumption. I'm assuming this is reflective of the current year's development that's ongoing in the city. So the increase in permits. Miscellaneous. This is up a healthy 345 increase. This was due in part to the inclusion of some monies received from the Troy redevelopment grants, as well as some increase in the employee health insurance contributions. I'm sorry. So just to, in summary, so major contributors to your year-over-year increase of about 2 million was the utility tax interest and penalty increase of 800,000, sales tax up 400,000, and looked like the ALS was up 200,000 year to date, year over year.
We increased what we charge, if you recall, for ALS.
Thank you, Mayor.
Want to take questions for the revenue and then we'll.
Okay. Are there any questions on the revenue section?
Council President.
Councilmember McLaren?
So when we first received this material, there, a mistake was discovered. And so we got an updated, corrected version. My question is that in the original that we received, intergovernmental charges, while the amounts are the same, the amount in the 2025 budget is vastly different, which leaves our percentage achieved vastly different.
In the intergovernmental charges.
In the original we got, it was 225,000. And in the corrected version, it was 830,000, but that wasn't the item that was due to be corrected. So I'm just wondering why the change.
On the budget amounts.
Yeah, the 2025 budget amount. And so then when you talk about how much of it was achieved, originally it was 32%, almost 33%.
I went through and after the Councilman Vera brought it to my attention that the numbers are skewed there. Tried to match them up to the actual budget in the book. I don't know what, and then some of this work was, unfortunately for me, some of this work was done by Brendan. So I don't know if I messed up his train of thought, what he was going to chase there. So he might have had some, I don't know, changes in the buckets.
Okay.
And, man, why don't we look at the intergovernmental revenues and report back to you? We can type up a response.
Okay.
Through the mayor tomorrow.
Thank you.
But it's mainly on the budget is what.
Okay. If I may continue.
Sure.
So when we're looking at our total operating revenues, end of June this year, I realize it's an increase year over year, but we're talking about 35 million. But what we have budgeted for revenues is 85, almost 86 million. And we've only achieved at this point halfway through the year, 41%. Should we be looking at this as, we're halfway through the year, we should be about 50% on all of these?
Well,
or is there a lot of wiggle room?
Well, well, for one thing, the real property taxes is based on collection rate right now when you have a $29 million revenue line there.
Yep.
So these interim reports are skewed in as far as we're kind of mixing and matching with
Like when things are collected and.
versus what the actual revenue post to the financials may be.
Okay.
You're missing ARPA revenues is the big item.
Okay.
And so that'll be a journal entry that we'll work through with the team. The biggest item is the ARPA and the sales tax.
Okay.
And they'll be adjusted. So to Mike's point, these interim reports, some of these things, he mentioned the sales tax, or not the sales tax, excuse me, the property tax is over 50%. And that's
Gotcha. Right.
It doesn't matter. Ultimately, your property tax is your property tax number, and we're going to pursue collections and re-levy and do all those things. So
okay.
It's you have to kind of it's not always going to be a perfect 50-50.
Okay.
Same with like rec fees, when when we reported on Q1 with the rec fees, the golf season hadn't started.
Right.
So you're missing all these
Yep.
things. So it's just not a straight line, unfortunately.
So you gave me the perfect segue by mentioning ARPA.
The council member, and
Yes.
just to add to that, you know, as they mentioned, it's based on collection, but you know, as prior council president, one of the things that I look for the checks and balances, because I put my other hat on, is where are we compared at this time last year? So you want to, you know, be within that number, near it, or over it. But you know, based on collections, it has a huge, it's not 50%, even though it's June.
Right. Understood. Thank you. So almost $21 million in ARPA that has not been spent. Is that ARPA money that we have obligated, encumbered, planned for these projects that needs to be spent by the end of 2026 that has not been spent yet?
So when I mentioned the ARPA funds, there's a journal entry that needs to be posted based on actual expenditures to date. So when you think about ARPA, we have all the money up front. We got all this money, it's sitting in a bank account, it's earning interest. And so from an accounting perspective, when we receive that money, we debited our cash, and then we have basically a liability, an unearned revenue. And so the fact that we have zero right now simply means we haven't adjusted our balance sheet. We need to recognize the revenue and reduce that liability. The money, it had to be obligated by, and I know Gabrielle has been working on all this, it had to be obligated by the end of 24 and then spent by,
And 26.
which it will. No, they didn't do the revenue loss. Because they got like 42 million. The lost revenue option was if you could claim up to $10 million in lost revenue. So some municipalities, if you were, say, the city of Troy or city of Rensselaer, you received well under, you could have just claimed it all and recognized it without going through, but they didn't do that either. They have plans for it.
And so we're feeling like by the end of 26, all of those projects will be completed and this will be-
Every penny will be spent.
Okay.
It's all encumbered. It'll be out the door. A lot of times it goes out in huge buckets.
Mhm.
I believe Gabrielle sent you the latest ARPA report when it was filed.
I don't remember receiving that.
I think it was requested by Councilman Vera, the quarter one report possibly.
Maybe, I think the most recent one I looked up on my own. I don't,
Okay.
yeah.
If we could get the most recent ARPA report, that would be
We just.
fantastic.
Quarter two, yes. that's
Okay.
right. Yes, that's something I can do.
Thank you.
Anything else?
I assure you, every penny will be spent.
Councilman Vera?
Going back to Councilmember McLaren's question on intergovernmental charges, the 830,000. I believe $500,000 of that was associated with the sale of power. And I don't know if that was the solar installations or what have you. So I'm just, seeing that we've only recognized 74,000 in revenue on that line item. Are we categorizing that revenue elsewhere? Are we not getting that revenue? It's just a little concerning. We're only at 9% of that line item and we're halfway through the year.
Sure, understood. The historically, that $500,000 in power has been budgeted as a revenue. The way has been accounted for is a reduction in an expense. And so what happens is we generate and we don't get a check. They don't pay us.
Right.
It sits as a credit on our bill. And so when we go to pay our bill, there's what we actually, our expenditure side, and then there's a credit for what we actually pay on a net basis. And so if you were to look at, say, the utilities, they would likely be under budget cumulatively relatively under budget, whereas the revenue. So what we could do, and it wouldn't be hard to pull together, we have I'm blanking on the person who works on this at the city, is look at how much.
Colleen, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could get how much has been credited from January to June, and we can make a reclassification so that the financials match, and we can show you. But that's why that number is low.
So then along those same lines, then when we get the bills from National Grid, we're accounting for that, the full expense on the expense line?
We would have to, we're not.
Okay.
We're netting
All right.
it. So it's a budget versus accounting. We had, if you looked at our financials at 2024, and I know she's been working quite hard on this, we had about $1.6 million in credits sitting on our financials that we're trying to recruit through National Grid. And I know the mayor and her team has been working with National Grid to try and get that money as quick as possible. It'd be nice if they just wrote us a check as we generate it, but they should, but they don't. So, and I, hold your breath.
There's a 1.4, nearly $1.5 million line item that isn't labeled on here. What is that for? Right above appropriated fund balance.
Between federal aid, right?
Yeah, between federal aid and appropriated fund balance. Interfund, okay.
Massey?
Transfers though, not revenues, right?
Right, those
Okay.
are okay. The one that says interfund revenues? Oh, that's the water fund profit. So that'll be determined. That'll be determined at the end of the year. You know, to the extent that the water fund generates the surplus, you know, that interfund profit has been transferred, I think, since the dawn of time. So
And
that's
then perfect. That answers my question. The last one I've got is state aid. I see is, you know, we've only recognized about 4% of revenue, and that seems pretty consistent year over year.
Yeah.
Like what's the big?
you
item?
get they call it AIM, which is your
Okay.
assistance that comes in Q4.
Okay.
So I don't think that's
okay.
going to hit, and it'll be like whatever the budget amount is. It hasn't changed in 5 or 10 years.
No, and I went back on previous reports and,
Yeah.
you know, generally that line item
It's
is
your AIM
single
payment.
digits, and through Q2.
That's the hard part of this report is all that money. And so obviously we're trying to get caught up with accounting. You know, in theory, if we were super advanced and no municipality does this, you could accrue 1/12 of it every month, right? Because you know you're going to get it's from the state of New York. That's something we could do going forward, just to show you what it is. But cash wise, it'll all be collected. Very similar with the pension. You know, sometimes when we did these reports, the pension expense might have looked low or it could look high. It's because we pay that in full in November, December for the whole 12 months. And so right now we only have a quarter of the pension booked, but we could do these journal entries,
Yeah, I follow.
you know?
Yeah.
So
And Gabrielle did give me the ARPA. We are down to 16.4. We just filed the second quarter. So that is not 20 mil. So it's already going down. But we'll get you the second quarter also.
Council President, I have another question now relating to that. So the 4 million or $4.5 million that appear to have gone out the door for ARPA, did that happen in the last month or two? Because if it was the Q2 report, then shouldn't this report show us recognizing that 4.5 million in revenue?
The different schedule.
we didn't
Yeah.
we didn't book any revenue. We haven't booked any. It's a journal entry, so
Okay.
it'll be a credit to the revenue, it'll be a debit to the liability. It'll
Okay.
be a pure accounting transaction.
So that 4.5 million though in ARPA funding that went out April, May, June? Okay.
Yeah, we should recognize the revenue as we recognize the expense. It should be a dollar for dollar journal entry, so. We'll get there.
Thank you.
Does anyone else on the council have questions? Okay, let's move on to expenditures.
Okay. All right, total operating expenditures. This is obviously the second page of the general fund. This I tried to pull out the pension and interfund transfers at the bottom line there to try to get a better match of year to date. It's because of the accruals that Brendan was talking about. Some are made, some aren't. So that being said, appears the overall expenses increased about 2 million year over year. The permanent salaries had a slight change, $460,000 increase, a 2.8% change as the report states there. Kind of, I'd assume just is based on the contractual increases in the current year for the multiple bargaining units, accrued leave payouts and separations and whatnot. But it appears to be in line with, I'm assuming 2-3% is the range. I haven't looked at your contracts. Overtime, police is up. Police was up 250,000, but they do have various grants that are help offsetting that increase. The JAG, the GIVE, the I don't know what the OVW stands for. Sorry. Violence for Women. Okay. And I know there's a few others as well. Fire had an impressive decrease of 640,000 year over year from the prior year. Based on discussions with the fire department, it's due to the filling of vacancies that were open in 24. So it drove down the need for overtime. Materials and supplies increased about 350,000 year over year. Tried to drill into the GL on this. There was some rock salt increases. It looked like some significant rock salt increases and some service agreements. Now, some of those service agreements, there was credits in the prior year, so it kind of skews the number that obviously weren't applied this year or didn't have the benefit of being applied. And some repairs of various vehicles in the central garage drove up the number. Utilities, this was just a slight increase, which I just assume based on rate of inflation, it looks like just about. It's up slightly at 1.6%. The repairs and rentals. This increase looks like it was driven by your increase in your CAM charges. As I stated in the narrative, it went from 2,000 to 14,700 a month. So that's a big jump. Insurance, I did see about a $200,000 increase in some premiums. I don't know if it was tied. Couldn't tell you, perhaps liability, but I couldn't tell just from drilling into the ledger. I have to pull the actual vouchers on that. Consultant services. Oh, yeah. So we had this looks like an accounting issue where we had 3 payments posted in 25 year to date through June versus 2 for the Rensselaer County Emergency Dispatch Services. Don't know why that occurred, but it's clearly an extra post. I don't know if it got in early versus last year's post. Debt service, interfund transfers, all principal and interest is tracked in the debt service fund, funded via interfund transfers and from their respective funds, so nothing to really report there in the general fund. Pension, which I ended up reversing out on your bottom line. The number you see there is the 25%, which was just a reverse accrual of the prepaid that they had in 24. And as Brendan said, we won't pay the actual bill till December. But looking at the retirement bills, it's good that you should note that the bill is going to come in about 1.2 million higher than the previous year. However, they did budget accordingly. Actually, it looks like it'll come in about 300,000 under budget though. So kudos to the budget number. Health insurance, that's one of the big hits here. That went up $1 million year over year. I believe it was $1 million. I have to assume it's all driven by cost since we are self-insured. The only mitigating factor is the 20% contribution rate is up by 200,000, which seems to be in lockstep with the increase. So I don't know if the premiums went up that much. I didn't get past that. So in summary, the main drivers of the $2 million increase is health insurance for $1 million. Contractual was up about 650,000. And material and supplies up 350,000 year over year.
Council President.
Councilmember Sorrento.
In regards to the health insurance premiums, when do those rates, when are you normally like given notification of when the rates are going to change? And do they change January 1st usually?
So we get notified around this time so we can prepare the budget.
Okay.
We don't have all of the rates yet. We don't have our big Blue Shield plan rates yet.
Okay.
So we're not able to do that part of it, but the change is effective in December for the December payroll. And then January 1 is,
Because
we
it's a
pay
30-day
in
waiting
advance.
period.
Yes. yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Sorry. I just I was just figuring,
Oh, no.
Sure. Any other questions?
Is are the dental rates, have they been remaining the same or have they been increasing a lot too? I know health insurance, it's astronomical.
They've increased. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my
Yeah.
head, but we have seen an increase. I don't think they're very large, but
Okay.
it has increased.
And does that normally like the projected amount usually come around the same
It
time?
comes
or-
with the other
Yeah.
rates that we usually get. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anyone else? You mentioned CAM charges, and I'm curious, I know pretty sure we paid 2025. Where are we on 2024s?
We just finished our second H2 hearing.
50H.
Yeah, 50H, sorry.
Yeah.
The 50, I got H2M on my mind for some reason. 50H hearing, we just finished, so we haven't heard back from that.
So we never paid. the
We
20
paid not the increase,
Okay.
but we
So
paid,
would that be the reflective of these numbers, perhaps?
we paid 25s, yeah, the
But not
increase,
20,
the increase. So
But-
25s, we paid the 14. and
Right, but-
change.
my point is that the 2024 number is low, perhaps because we did not pay the increase. Right? Okay. Any other questions?
Council President.
Councilman Brosnan?
Regarding overtime for snow plowing, we've used all of the budget and then an 11% over. Do we have a plan on where the money is going to come to pay for the snow that presumably is
Well,
going to come in
first
quarter
we'll
4?
pray for no snow.
Yeah. The farmer.
But yeah, we'll have to make the appropriate budget transfers to accommodate them, and you got to get the plows out. I assume.
And will obviously come to the council for a transfer, but that's based on Mother Nature and we know how that goes.
All right, the overtime for fire reduced because we filled vacancies. Is there any chance for filling vacancies in snow plowing between now and when it starts snowing?
Snow plowing, it's not a matter of vacancies. It's if the plows gotta go out there, they go out. Well, we're full in DPW, streets, recreation, sanitation, we're full. DPU has labor positions, but they want CDL drivers and they have enough laborers.
Yeah, that's, I guess what I'm asking is, do we have any plan on hiring more CDL drivers?
We're working on it. If you know any, shoot them our way. That's it's hard, Ryan, as you know, to compete with the private sector and the incentives that they're offering CDL drivers to join their company, et cetera. But we're working with the workforce development. So when we do hire folks who really are interested in a CDL permit, we'll send them through school, et cetera. But what we do need to do is somehow get them to agree not to get the CDL permit and then move on. So that's contractual. So
Is that going in with the negotiations currently? And
they're trying.
is that coming before us?
We're hopefully, where's Rick? Where are we with CSEAs?
Took a turn.
End of the month, before the end of the month.
It's just, I keep hearing 2 weeks, so
I know.
eventually 2 weeks needs to come for not just them, but UFA and all the other contracts out, so.
Working on it.
Yeah. So they're working on old contracts, so. Especially patients.
Well, Ryan, in the past, sometimes it's gone 2-3 years. We'll get done before the end of the year.
Any other questions?
Council President.
Councilman Vera.
I see we only have 28% remaining in police overtime. Are there going to be managerial changes between now and the end of the year to kind of decrease that burn rate, or is the plan to do a budget transfer?
I believe Mike attributed the overtime that the grants that we received through GIVE.
So we've been spending the money, but haven't recognized the revenue. Okay.
Correct.
Council President.
Councilmember Brosnan.
In code 4 for insurances, we have 1.19% remaining. Have we made all the payments for the year, or are we gonna be paying more?
I will have to look into that.
That's on every. That was one of the things that I flagged, that it's on every page that we're down to like 1%. Yeah.
Don't have
Yeah.
the GL detail with me on that.
Typically premiums are paid once a year.
All right.
But we'll flag that as a follow-up for you. So we have.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Historically, premiums are once a year, and that if we were, had the time for these kinds of entries, we would amortize that monthly rather than take the full nut. But
That's a Wednesday.
Okay. Let's move on then.
If I could just give kudos to our team out there. They are doing more on the streets. They're doing more with less. They're really crushing it, whether it's streets, DPU, police, fire, on all fronts. The streets are safer and cleaner, and I really want to give kudos to the teams out there.
Okay, water fund revenue. Sales total 2.7 at the end of the second quarter, which is about 49% of the total amount budgeted. Outside community water sales, 2.3 at the end of the second quarter, equating to about 32% of the total amount budgeted. Municipalities are billed based on the information I recently viewed.
The outside community sales are harder numbers to pull together. And so they're all done on a lag. And so that number that you see, first of all, the 2024 probably was not booked because we'll say it was in the dark era of the accounting period. That was before I came on board and started helping the team with journal entries. But that 2.3 you see is probably reflective of really what was billed in Q2 for Q1's activity. So there's maybe 10 municipalities that we sell water to. Some are billed twice a year, some are billed quarterly. And by the end of the year, we ensure all of those bills are captured on the accrual basis. And so this report is probably more reflective of a cash basis bill, which is why it looks comparatively hard, and Mike struggled with those fluctuations.
If I could add too, on the outside water, you should know, we are going to undergo a full process to renegotiate. Some of those contracts are up, and obviously people of Troy pay more than some of the outside communities, and some contracts haven't changed in a while. So it's going to be a huge undertaking, but it will, in the long run, be well worthwhile.
Okay, so what I. All right, so we covered the outside community water, which was Brendan explained the difference there. Service charges, interest and penalties, the negative balance there, that's driven by a large credit that was issued to National Grid. There was a dispute over some work that was done. I just got a bit of information on it, little I could get out of the GL. Miscellaneous, looks like accounting issues again. Yeah, it looks like there was a reclass of it back from the 2770. I don't know if that's going to happen again this year, but
We'll get back to Brent if we look at that.
yeah, I've got the info here. So revenue's up year over year about 1.2, and that's primarily due to that billing to the outside municipalities that we discussed earlier. So it's looks rosier than it is.
Council President.
Councilmember Brosnan.
To go back to, the service charges and interest penalties. Were negative 5,826, but that's a change from last year of $272,305. Is that all credited back to, is that not right?
No. 266.
Change.
Oh, there's 72.
The credits were, I believe, over 200,000 that were applied. So I guess they were in dispute of the bill.
So the entire revenue was from National Grid then?
Well, in the previous year, no, I wouldn't say that. I'm just saying that the large credit drove. So we probably collected 260,000, but then when we applied the credit against National Grid, ended up with the negative.
We should probably reclassify that credit as a refund of expense. We should probably move that to an expenditure so it doesn't skew the revenues.
Have we collected any funds
You have to, because if you add back the $200,000 credit, you would be at a, yeah.
So where do we collect those funds from? Was that from National Grid or are there other?
No, that's just from the interest and penalties on any tax bill that goes out there.
So we have a negative 5,826. If you were to add back that 200,000, we would have 195,000 in interest and penalties. So that credit would probably be better presented as an expenditure on the expenditure sheet, but that's how it got accounted for.
All right, thank you.
Presentation.
Council President,
Councilman Vera.
have we corrected the issue that led to that credit? What was the issue that led to that credit?
Believe it was when they were digging, they left open, I'm not really sure. I have to get back to you on that.
I'm just curious if it was a faulty meter,
No,
a
no.
leak, and there was dispute of whether or not it was a city's or, you know.
Are you asking about the National Grid credit that was basically absolved?
Yeah, I guess,
Yeah.
why did we bill them, you know, whatever it was, 240,000 and we
Okay, I think it,
have to give it back?
from some time in the past, upon information and belief, the National Grid was digging in Hoosick Street and left the excavation open. Some of our pipes froze. I think that resulted in a shop work bill to National Grid and which was disputed because who caused the problem, I guess it was in dispute. I guess it got re-levied and interest was applied, so it became a much greater amount than was initially billed. And I think in consultations with DPU, it was determined, well, National Grid does stuff for us and they don't charge us. And so I think it was just determined that given the working relationship, it would be better to just essentially forgive that one. Though I don't think there was any formal documentation that I did.
That forgiveness happened recently then, within the last.
I believe it did. Yeah, I believe it was carried for years. I think it goes back to when Andy was here or before. The prior administration sometime, or maybe the one before that. I don't really know.
The bill, the original bill,
the initial problem.
they were forgiven in.
Right, it could have been.
Q1 or Q2 of this year.
Yeah, right, that's it. It could have been a $30,000 problem. It could have been a $20,000 initial bill. But once it gets re-levied and interest gets applied and the re-levy tax gets applied, it can mount up. We have another one up on Vandenberg Avenue. I don't even know what's going on with that one right now, but it's sort of similar. And that's not National Grid.
Anything else?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Moving on to water fund expenditures.
I got.
Oh, one more, okay. Councilman Brosnan.
So we forgave $200,000 in late fees just because they do work for us. That's a lot of,
They do work.
well, that was what,
Whose fault it was. We went to the court.
over $250,000, maybe.
It happened.
So proving the case is always an issue with lawyers.
So
I don't think we have sufficient proof
we
of
lost
what
the
happened.
documents. That's why we lost out on.
I don't
$200,000.
know, Ryan. I've never, I only dealt with this as an issue that DPU was billing.
Okay.
The documents could have been lost anytime in the past 10 or 15 years. I don't know how old this is.
There's no going back now. All right, thank you.
Believe me, we would have loved the 200K, right?
Doesn't work out that.
Okay, move on. Expenses.
Yes.
Okay, overall, total expenditures down 200,000 year to date. Permanent salaries overtime up 5.75%. So that's segregated out. I do. So just permanent salaries up 5.75, result of vacancies being filled along with contractual increases. Materials and supplies are down overall 60 grand versus same period last year. Looks like the vehicle expense and repairs line was way down year over year. Taxes. Taxes, we had a big drop in property tax bills. Don't know. Yeah, I'd have to pull both bills so to see what changed year over year on that. Workers' comp down 95 was due to the variance due to the big claim in about 75, it looks like back in 24 that was paid out. So big reason for that swing. So major contributors, taxes are down 80 grand, workers' comp down 75 grand, and the vehicle repair expense lines were down 40,000.
Any questions?
Yeah, Council President.
Councilmember Rivera.
You're saying contractual agreements have led to permanent salaries exceeding, 50% with the vacancies that we have, but
No,
what,
go ahead.
yeah, what contractual changes have happened in the water department? That's all CSEA, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's also percentage remaining.
And then the overtime. I mean, obviously we've had a couple of severe water main breaks. Is there going to be a need to add additional funding to that line item? Okay.
It's like there's a lot of room there still.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
You're way under. I see some. Set?
Oh, set. Moving on to the sewer fund revenue.
Sewer fund. Sewer rents look like they increased 6.4% year over year. Assuming that's just due to the actual billing. So basically sewer fund revenues at the end of the second quarter mirror the results of the sewer rents, which are the principal revenue source for the fund. What else to spend that one?
Any questions? Okay, let's move on to the expenditures in the sewer fund.
Sewer fund expenses. Expenditures in total are up about 93,000 year over year. Looks like it was across the board. If you look at the analysis here on the chart, it's like everything was salaries, OT, materials, consulting, insurance, all had slight increases. Permanent salaries. Looks like they're up 9%, but we're still well under budget. Overtime appears to be a bit over budget for this time of the year, 64%. Material and supplies. We've expended 64% of. Yep. Material and supplies decreased from prior fiscal year. However, drilling through the ledger, I didn't see anything that stood out, like any one big item, so it looks like everything was down relative to what we'd expect. Questions?
Any questions? Nope. Well, let's move on to the garbage fund.
So garbage funds comprise of fees, violations, bulk pickup fees, hauler permits, with revenues recognized as they're billed, not as collected. Looks like I think we have one billing a year, I think.
Two.
There's two billings. Just that it's 95% of the budget, so I'm not well versed in the process here. But they total close to 4 million for the.
I'll add one thing too. So to the extent the garbage fund generates a net loss, we have a budgeted transfer from the general fund. And so that transfer is a bit of an accounting adjustment. And so what comptroller will do with the team is monitor the financial condition of the garbage fund and then make the requisite transfer as needed. So last year, a very little or no transfer was needed. This year, we may need to make that transfer to make the fund whole. So I think we discussed that Q1 as well, that's an area we monitor.
Any questions?
Council President,
Councilmember McLaren.
the state aid line, is that just because we haven't received it yet?
No, we'll
Can you flag that as well, please?
on my list.
Thank you. That was going to be my question as well.
Oh, okay.
I think that's like a monthly DEC or something. So we might just need to check our accounting on that. Yeah, we get that.
Okay, no other questions. We'll move on to garbage expenditures.
I just wanted to add, just so the council is aware, we do have more people complying in terms of just illegal dumping, putting trash out. You know, as we know, this isn't all about revenue. It's about getting people to comply, educating them, you know, let's work together to really try to keep our streets clean. And, you know, through Joe, his team, they're just doing fantastic in terms of just trying to work with folks. Because at the end of the day, it's not about their money. It's about, we want people to comply and work with us. So we really are getting folks that didn't comply last year, complying now. And real kudos to the Deputy Mayor Joe and the team.
Okay, moving on to the expenditures. Okay, garbage fund expenditures were total about 2.2 million. It's down slightly year over year. Permanent salaries appear to have decreased by 9%. As it states on the chart. Overtime is up, which would 7K. Apparently there's been additional weekend pickups to account for that. Material and supplies are up about 5%, assuming inflationary pressures are playing a role in that. Tipping fees totaled 427 as of June 30th, equating to about 40% of the total budget. However, that's an increase of about 93,000 year over year. but clearly anticipated with the appropriate budget in place.
Bless you.
Any questions on this?
I'm sorry,
Consulting.
No?
consulting was down. I'm sorry. Drill into that one.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your in-depth walking us through this report. I'm curious if you wouldn't mind sharing, how is the relationship going with, last time we met, BST was moving out and you were moving in, and how are we navigating the arrangement?
Well, we're progressing with the audit. BST is pretty much spearheading that, though, as Brenda could explain better. So in that respect, I'm weaning them off of them, but we're in need of them for the prior year financials to, with their supporting schedules and whatnot that they obviously put together.
And in those terms, because BST essentially worked on the reconciliations for 24, they're working on the audit, but 2025 work, that BST is pretty much not working on 2025. So I'll let Brendan feed in, but we anticipate, Brendan, we're going to miss you. We anticipate BST being done probably early 26, correct?
I have spent almost no time on 2025, other than helping Mike with some questions as he learns. This is since our Q1 meeting. All of my time has been dealing with Bonadio, trying to wrap up the 24 audit, which I think they're getting pretty close. I won't speak for them, but their inquiries have been less and less. And so, obviously when you give Mike a little grace here, because he's dealing with 24 numbers that were really rough. And then taking this on, and I started the presentation. I handed it off to Mike and he ran with it. So now that we know how Andy used to prepare these, it should be much easier. And I'm sure as Mike gets more knowledge, he'll be able to give you those answers that you're looking for. Because I wouldn't have been able to answer any of them because of my limited involvement.
Okay, thank you for that update.
Council President Steele.
Councilmember Casey.
I'm sorry, could I just ask something? I always say I'm a fireman. I told you, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a bookkeeper. And I've struggled with a lot of this, but I've been blessed. My friend, very good friend, just retired, chief financial officer in government, much bigger than Troy. So he's been helping me. He looked at a few things on this, and I already knew some of the answers, but I got answers. But again, I had said to him what I always say, did you see any red flags? Did you see anything? And he said, no, none whatsoever. And I just want to, again, as I always do, ask you, because in certain circles in Troy, we're on the verge of financial disaster in the city of Troy. And you hear it from certain people. And I just want to ask you, is Troy on the verge of financial disaster? And do you see any red flags?
No, not, I mean, to the degree I've been looking at it, no. But you need to be cognizant of the obvious increases in health insurance that are prevalent in all municipalities, the increase in retirement, especially if this market goes sour, that number could jump and, pretty tough rate.
The state comptroller just published the rates. And so your 26, 27 contribution, I didn't calculate your PFRS, but, and these are all budgeted numbers that you'll have at your fingertips, but that's going up over 6%. That's just for ERS alone. So that's just the percentage contribution on top of the increased salary. So the dollar value could be much higher than that.
Councilmember Soriento.
So ERS, now what about PFRS?
It,
Is that going to be about the same percentage?
I can get you that, but
Okay.
it went up about a percentage point and a half.
PFRS is usually a lot higher.
It is. It's in the 30s now.
Yeah.
So it used to be about 25%. It's around 33% or more of your salary. So
And they're two separate invoices or estimated.
yes.
Yep.
Thanks. And, last year for this year, we got whacked with, as you recall, over 15% mandated costs between pension and healthcare. And I believe it was close to $4 or $5 million. And we absorbed it and worked with it. It's at the local level, every penny counts. I did want to give you an update on Tyler. We're working with them. It's moving forward. I told you 12 to 18 months. We're on target with that, but that is going to be huge for Mike, Gabrielle, the team, because the accounting and, Mike is struggling with KVS. It's archaic. It's old. And, but Tyler will, allow us to be more efficient and more up to date state of the art.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It'll be welcomed when we do get it online. But it's a lot of work to get it online. So we've got to tie out what we currently have before we transition over. And so that's a heavy lift, but we're moving forward.
Great. Good to hear. Thank you all for your participation tonight, all the work that went into this. We appreciate it very much.
Enough time to get a little water in this can here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to take a recess?
You want it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been going for like an hour and a half.
Okay. We're going to take a brief recess.
Yeah. A lot of CDL drivers.
Yeah. What are you going to do about that, Ryan? Personally, what are you going to do about that? See my little one? I like, when I hit it just right, it moves. It's one of those live ones.
Oh, yeah.
It won't do it just because I want it to.
Right, right.
And I got a new one of our little one. Where is that? Red hair. Yeah. Her mother had red hair.
Oh, okay.
Kate did. And it same deal, stuck right up
Yeah.
straight. Full head of hair.
Yeah. You think they'll stay blue?
I think so. Her sisters are blue. Yeah. Yeah, her father has blue eyes.
Oh, okay.
I think they come from him.
Mm-hmm. What's funny, Megan older, Dahlia is bright blue eyes and neither one, they're both dark.
Really?
She's got bright like blonde hair. They're both dark.
Interesting how that happens, isn't it?
It is.
How's Maddie doing?
I mean, she's good.
She's just, yeah,
To,
back to program.
yeah, me back to school,
Mhm.
moving. Everything.
When does that take place?
Hopefully we'll close on the 1st and then maybe do the big move on the.
Mike's are, I'm told.
I like her.
What?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All set? Okay, we are going to continue on with the Finance Committee meeting. At this point, we have the public forum. Anyone who wishes to speak on any agenda item before the Finance Committee is welcome to come forward and do so. We have 2 ordinances and 3 resolutions. Seeing none, we'll move right along into our agenda. Ordinance 43, ordinance amending the 2025 general fund and debt service fund budgets. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember McLaren, second.
Second.
Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion on the ordinance. Anyone have any questions?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 43 is adopted unanimously. Ordinance 44, ordinance amending the 2025 general fund and debt service fund budgets. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second.
Second.
Councilmember McLaren. Discussion on the ordinance.
Council President,
Councilmember Vera.
just curious, this is the 10,000 in legal, correct? I have that right?
Yes.
Rick, could you?
Yeah, I'm
help
just
us-
curious what the temporary salary is for. That's all. Oh, is that the answer? Intern?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I wanted. That was 2 interns. Okay, all right.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 44 is adopted unanimously. Resolution 92. Resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract for the purchase of 2 tractor loader backhoes for the City of Troy Department of Public Utilities pursuant to Sourcewell contract number 011723 CNH2 from Capital Tractor, Inc. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Keel, seconded by Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 92 is adopted unanimously. Resolution 93, resolution appointing Commissioner of Deeds for the City of Troy, Council President Steele, Councilmember Casey. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, seconded by Councilmember Soriento. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 93 is adopted unanimously. 94, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the City of Cohoes for maintenance and repair of lighting and lighting fixtures on the 112th Street Bridge. Councilmember Keel at the request of the administration. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second.
Second.
Councilmember McLaren. Discussion?
Council President,
Councilmember Keel.
I think there's, one beautiful elegance here that, when you're coming into Lansingburg on the 112th Street Bridge, Ontario Street coming from Cohoes, it's that bridge. And when it's lit up, it looks beautiful. It's looking pretty shabby. Maybe half the lights are working at this point, but, I'm glad to see that this is happening. Also, it's for visibility sake, for safety, and, no, good thing.
Thank you. Mayor?
Thank you. Just so the council's aware too, the agreement with Cohoes was long expired and didn't detail out what Cohoes did, what we do, and now it's half and half and we cleaned it up. So it's a good agreement. Stay tuned. Some monies will be forthcoming. Our assembly member has worked on some monies for lighting, so it's a win-win for everyone. So we'll keep you posted on that though.
Thank you.
Council President.
Councilmember Vera.
Yeah, was this part of the LED retrofit? I didn't look like it was. right?
No,
So these were
it's
left out of
separate.
that? Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yep.
Council President,
Councilmember Keel.
just to say to the mayor, and since you're doing the negotiation, I believe it's critical that, if there's any way to make these things unbreakable, I know we got some people in our city that are and in Cohoes that, you know, deface things, and if we can keep those things lit, you know, whatever we can do, I don't know, you know, and construction wise.
Yeah, I propose that maybe you could maybe walk the bridge from time to time and police it for us. No, I'm kidding. Councilmember Keel, yes, we're looking into more state-of-the-art lighting,
Okay.
which hopefully, you know, obviously you can't be 100% non-destructive,
Yeah.
but yes,
Maybe if
they'll
there-
be upgraded.
maybe you could have like dual lights, so if one gets the put out, the other one works, you know, at least one of the two would work.
I think Councilmember
Christmas trees are in.
Brosnan knows the most state-of-the-art lighting. So maybe you
All right,
could
help us out.
add something.
Electrician Brian.
Any other questions? Rick, did you want to add something?
Just that in the process of getting the document finalized, it appears that the grant is probably going to go to Cohoes, and it's going to specify the kind of fixtures and things like that that are going to go on, and Cohoes is going to work with the contractor to put in the initial installations. And then we're going to alternate years to keep the maintenance of them, unless we have a specific ability to do something they can't do, or they have ability to do something we can't do.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 94 is adopted unanimously. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Wow,
Number
who
five.
do I pick? I'll say
Anyone quickly?
Councilmember Soriento. Second by Councilmember McLaren. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned momentarily. We'll go right into our regular September 4th monthly meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call a roll.
Councilmember Keel,
Present.
Councilmember Brosnan.
Present.
Councilmember Spain McLaren.
Present.
Councilmember Vera.
Present.
Councilmember Soriento.
Here.
Councilmember Casey.
Present.
Council President Steele.
Present.
All are present.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a rather lengthy agenda of a number of ordinances and resolutions that were, many of which were just previously considered during our finance meeting. But if anyone wishes to address the council on any one of these agenda items, this is your opportunity to come forward and share your name. Seeing none, we'll move right along to ordinances.
It's quick. Good job.
Thank you.
Ordinance 37, ordinance amending the 2025 capital fund budget. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Soriento. With a second by Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion on ordinance 37. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 noes. Ordinance 37 passes.
Ordinance 38.
Ordinance 38, ordinance amending the 2025 capital fund budget. Council President Steele, Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second.
Second.
Councilmember Soriento. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7 ayes, 0 noes. Ordinance 38 passes.
Ordinance 39.
Ordinance 39, ordinance amending the 2025 capital fund budget. Council President Steele, Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second.
Second.
Councilmember McLaren. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Seven ayes, zero nos. Ordinance 39 passes.
Ordinance 40.
Ordinance 40, ordinance amending the 2025 capital fund budget. Councilmember Keel at the request of the administration.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second.
Second.
Councilmember McLaren. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Seven ayes, zero nos. Ordinance 40 passes.
Ordinance 41.
Ordinance 41, ordinance amending the 2025 capital fund budget. Councilmember Keel, the request, Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second.
Second.
Councilmember Keel. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Seven ayes, zero nos. Ordinance 41 passes.
Ordinance 42.
Ordinance 42, ordinance amending the 2025 capital fund budget. Council President Steele, Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second.
Second.
Councilmember Soriento. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Seven ayes, zero nos. Ordinance 42 passes.
Ordinance 43.
Ordinance 43, ordinance amending the 2025 general fund and debt service fund budgets. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Motion.
Motion.
Councilmember Soriento, second.
Second.
Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Seven ayes, zero nos. Ordinance 43 passes.
Ordinance 44.
Ordinance 44, ordinance amending the 2025 general fund and debt service fund budgets. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second.
Second.
Councilmember Soriento. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Seven ayes, zero nos. Ordinance 44 passes.
Moving on to resolutions, Resolution 89.
Resolution 89, resolution appointing commissioners of deeds for the city of Troy. Council President Steele, Councilmember Casey.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember McLaren with a second by Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Seven ayes, zero nos. Resolution 89 passes.
90.
Resolution 90, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Municipal Emergency Services Incorporated for the purchase of ray gas detection monitors through NPP GOV contract number PS 20040 and League of Oregon Cities RFP number 1910 for use of the Troy Fire Department. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Soriento with a second by Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Seven ayes, zero nos. Resolution 90 passes.
91.
Resolution 91, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Vander Molen Incorporated Distributor for PL Custom Body and Equipment Co. Inc. for the purchase of a 2025 Ford E450 PL Custom Medallion 170 Modular Ambulance 25-4805 through the Sourcewell Consortium. Councilmember Casey at the request of the administration.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Keel with a second by Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Seven ayes, zero nos. Resolution 91 passes.
92.
Resolution 92, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract for the purchase of 2 tractor loader backhoes for the City of Troy Department of Public Utilities pursuant to Sourcewell contract number 011723 CNH2 from Capital Tractor Inc.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Vera, a second by Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Seven ayes, zero nos. Resolution 92 passes.
93.
Resolution 93, resolution appointing a commissioner of deeds for the City of Troy. Council President Steele, Councilmember Casey.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Councilmember Brosnan with a second by Councilmember Keel. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Seven ayes, zero nos. Resolution 93 passes.
94.
Resolution 94, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the City of Cohoes for maintenance and repair of lighting and lighting fixtures on the 112th Street Bridge. Councilmember Keel at the request of the administration.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Vera with a second by Councilmember Brosnan. Discussion on the resolution? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Seven ayes, zero nos. Resolution 94 passes.
That concludes our agenda. At this point, there is a public forum for any comments on anything. Doesn't have to be an item on the agenda. Something of interest to you, something you'd like to share with the council. Feel free to come forward and please state your name.
Hi, my name is Karen Seitz.
You're going to need to speak right into the mic. It's, is it on?
The lights. That in? Okay, all right.
Thank you.
My name is Karen Seitz. My family owns a 4-unit apartment house in Lansingburg. Okay, last April, tenant said she was moving out at the end of the month, moved out at the middle of the month, left all her garbage outside. I didn't see it until later in that month. Thought I had taken care of getting it put away, apparently not. Did get put away, it was gone. 2 weeks later, April 2nd, I believe it is, I received in the mail City of Troy invoice for a second notice for the trash violation. In the same envelope was the first notice. I filled out the dispute because, okay, why are you sending me a second before you send me the first? And the response I got was denied. Even though the invoice number for the second was obviously made out before the first. I paid the first, I paid the first one. I don't want to pay the second one. How, I mean.
So is,
Are those
we
the
can't-
invoices?
These are the invoices.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a copy of those.
Could we ask the clerk to make a copy for our records, please?
You are welcome to see the dispute form too.
I know.
I know.
It's so hard.
All right, I'm not disputing the first charge. Apparently, the person who told me they were going to clean it up did not. And yes, that becomes my responsibility. But not the second one because I didn't get the first one.
Understood.
The frustration that you're seeing from the city council members that this is a public forum, we're not supposed to engage in conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we want to, but we're just listening and we'll follow through. Is there anything more you would want to share about this situation?
No, the people that I spoke with at the where we pay the bills, lovely people, helped me fill out the form.
Treasurer's office.
Treasurer's office, thank you very much. Lovely people, had a fine time with them, so praise for them. It's only the person who sat there in tonight that I'm not happy with. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience tonight as well. Does anyone else wish to address the council on any item?
Hello, I'm Mark. I live on 3rd Street in Troy. So first off, I really enjoyed today's presentation of our fiscal reports. Thought that you guys had great questions. Really enjoyed seeing the fiscal health of Troy. Very happy to see most of the numbers that I saw tonight. My one concern is what Ryan Bronson brought up, which was the forgiveness of the $200,000-ish to National Grid. My only question is why didn't the mayor bring this to council for forgiveness? It was a significant fund, like a significant amount of money to be forgiven without any transparency with that forgiveness. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Does anyone else wish to address the council?
Are you?
Good evening, council, longtime lurker, first time poster. Young people will get that. My name is Noelle Dimash, and I proudly live on Oakwood Avenue. I am a longtime resident of Troy, Troyalty, if you will, and I love this city and its people. I don't particularly enjoy public speaking, so being here tonight is outside of my comfort zone. And I do apologize for any stutters or awkwardness. And because I am a regular attendant of these meetings, I do know that I am subject to the whispers and commentary from the folks who choose to stand in the back of the meetings instead of sitting within them. So this may add an extra layer of nervousness, and for that, I am sorry. But again, as a regular attendant of these meetings and a dedicated member of this city, I feel as though it is my duty to speak about a bit about what I've been witnessing here for the past few months. I suppose I should begin with my why. And while it may seem trivial to some folks here, it is my why, and it should add some context to my perspective. I started getting involved in the official city stuff because I had an elderly dog. For many of my neighbors here in the Freer Park neighborhood, I would be seen daily walking my dog to and fro from the golf course for 6 years. And although our pace certainly declined, along with his kidney function and his eyesight, we still enjoyed puttering to the walking trails until this past winter. When his old bones were unable to handle the hills of the course, we made daily use of the tennis courts. Mid-mornings, when the players had stopped their games to escape the heat, my old boy would chase tennis balls. I rolled slowly past him, the spark of a puppy coming out him for just a moment. So you can imagine my surprise when one day the courts were torn down. The picnic tables and the grills used by countless folks to enjoy a little peace and green space, gone. The quiet of spring of Freer, decimated by construction that felt rushed and careless. The work zone was dusty, loud, and messy, and completely robbed our entire neighborhood of our park space, completely robbing me of my sweet mornings with my boy. And man, I was upset. No warning, no signage. In fact, 15 Love had their summer session scheduled posted through August right on the chain link fence. How could this decision have moved so quickly that the nonprofit serving children in athletics was not clued in? This bothered me greatly, so I reached out unsuccessfully to the mayor's office. I called the number listed on the Troy City webpage and could not get through. Once my attempts proved futile, I pivoted to my city council person, Ryan Brosnan. And to Ryan's credit, he was helpful, available, and said he would attempt to connect me with the administration. While I struggled to get a response, I decided to begin attending the city council meetings as an attempt to see how our local government had been functioning. I am embarrassed to admit that I had been so naive about the local representation, and I assumed everything was going okay. Now, I am embarrassed for a different reason. The behavior and the conduct of the city administration, the city employees, and the city council members during these meetings with their constituents. I am a polite young lady. I was raised to respect others. I was taught to actively listen. I was taught to engage with others around me in a manner that grants dignity for both myself and them. I learned to not speak while others are speaking. I learned that in order to communicate with both my words and my body language, I need to close my mouth, put down my phone, and hear what people are saying. These are the things that we teach our young folks in order to be good classmates, good community members, and most importantly, good people. These are things that I am not seeing reflected in the interactions between our government officials and the constituents they serve. I'm coming here as a concerned citizen and a voter of this city. I'm also coming here as a blue-collar worker. I am a nobody. I am a drone who works and lives paycheck to paycheck, but I do know how to conduct myself in a professional setting, and what I am seeing in these meetings is anything but professional. I am aghast at the behavior that I'm witnessing here from both sides of the aisle, and I'm here to express my deep dissatisfaction with how you are representing my city. My city is a place where we respect each other, a patchwork community of different walks of life, but our neighborhoods are the real deal. God bless you. We show up for each other. We are what makes this city vibrant and fun and the place to be. This city works because we work for it. And when we have a group of people that would rather spend their time on the public's dime, arguing, interrupting each other, belittling each other, stonewalling each other, throwing petty jabs, and name-calling each other, speaking over each other, we will not let it stand. You represent us. You represent us. Sorry, with a stutter, it helps to stop. And this is how you treat one another. And I am so appalled. But if it were simply you just infighting and making this government dysfunctional, well, that's one thing. But what really drove me to this podium today is how you are responding to and treating your constituents. How dare you mistreat the people you are elected to represent? How dare you come to these meetings late, distracted, dismissive? We see you, city council members who can't be bothered to put down your cell phones. A few times this year, you had your sound on during these meetings where constituents have come to speak with you about their real lives, their real concerns, their real problems, and it feels like you couldn't give a hoot. I've watched the people of Troy come before you and bear their hearts out, speaking about their personal struggles here, homelessness, experiences with homophobia, mental health struggles, abusive police interactions. I have watched folks weep on this microphone, begging for some help from the government that is meant to serve them, and instead of help, they are ignored, dismissed, laughed at by the employees of the city. I cannot believe the lack of respect you have for the community you serve. The administration, who I'm sure has heckled me during my whole time speaking, even though it is difficult for me to be here, and even though they claim to support people with disabilities, but continually make these meetings less and less accessible and accepting for folks. How dare you stand in the back of the room instead of sitting amongst your constituents, acting more like a Timu mafia than a group of public servants? How dare you refuse to speak with the people who have valid criticism of your policy decisions, but have all the time in the world to ask the press to leave while constituents were still addressing their concerns to you, as if speaking with the media supersedes hearing the plights of your people? How dare you allow your city staff to belittle the public who attend these meetings? I cannot believe that in my own local community, we have a government that allows workers to actively dissuade people from attending public meetings. But I digress. We are your people, Madam Mayor, and we elected you to love us all, unconditionally, not just the folks who agree with you, not just the neighborhoods you like the most, not just the golfers of Freer Park, all of us. I voted for you, Madam Mayor, and the disconnect of who you are and the conduct of your administration needs to be examined. I do not believe you are the type of woman to allow your administration to abuse the people you serve, and that is what is happening under your watch. Please consider rectifying this immediately. Whomever is advising you to nurture your public image instead of your relationship with your people is giving you bad advice. Please return to transparency. Please return to bipartisan relationships with the city council. Please sit amongst your community members at these meetings and not whispering in the back of the room, which again, for folks who struggle with auditory disabilities, makes it near impossible to hear, concentrate, or comprehend. This is not meant to be some cutting political grandstand, nor is it meant to disparage you. This is meant to call attention to your behaviors. It is meant to serve as a reminder that you are public servants, and the public is very much watching how you are conducting yourselves here, and we are dissatisfied. The people of Troy do not take well to disrespect, and we will remember now and in November. And lastly, I would like to extend the most heartfelt thank you to my neighbors who stood by me while my old boy declined, allowing me to walk across the streets even when they had to wait, who waved to us and chatted with me even when I was covered in tears and dog pee and hair, the neighbors who offered water and treats to us when they saw him struggling, and especially to the man who helped me carry him home when my old boy collapsed on his last walk. I never got your name, but thank you. To the community that held me as I held him in his golden years, thank you. Thank you. This is what makes it worth it to live here. The Trojans, the people who make up the beauty and the life of this city, and we deserve to be treated with dignity, respect, and kindness, because that is who we actually are. And that is what we will be demanding from each of our representatives moving forward. Until the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Noel. Does anyone else wish to address the council? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Councilmember Brosnan, second by Councilmember McLaren, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.